Hello knowledge seekers, welcome to another episode of Further Scientist Blog. So in this video we are going to discuss about conversion of pyruvate to acetyl CoA through oxidative decarboxylation. So it is a very important step in entire energy generation process, or simply put aerobic respiration. So till now we have seen various functions of glycolysis in our body and different processes involved in glycolysis and why is it important, or everything. We have also learned about how does the regulation of glycolysis happens, what are the various molecules involved in regulation of glycolysis, what are the various enzymes, and how do they act in our body. These are all the topics that we have covered till glycolysis. Also, if a cell has selected or cell is following an aerobic process, so glycolysis ends at pyruvate synthesis. Whereas if an if a cell is following path of anaerobic respiration, so glycolysis ends with the production of lactate from pyruvate with the help of lactate dehydrogenase itself. So okay, so further extending anaerobic respiration, so after glycolysis, so we observe uh, pyruvate being entered into a second phase of the overall energy generation process, and this overall process is called as linked reaction. Basically this reaction is called as linked reaction, and the uh, the, the process that happens in linked reaction is oxidative decarboxylation. So now let us look what happens here. So the pyruvate reacts with few other molecules in the presence of enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. Pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. It is a multi-enzyme basically. So pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, and it results in production of acetyl CoA by liberating carbon dioxide and reducing equivalents. So nothing but NADH in this case, in this reaction case. So how does this actually happen? Um, the pyruvate Okay, now let's discuss about this. The pyruvate dehydrogenase enzyme, it is a multi-enzyme as discussed. So it requires five coenzymes or cofactors. Simply put, five cofactors along with it for it to be activated. What are those five factors? Five cofactors. So one is NAD plus, next FAD, coenzyme A, especially for this reaction, for this linked reaction, and the other is lipoamide. So what this basically lipoamide is, it is a so it is lipoic acid linked to epsilon amino group of lysine, especially epsilon amino group of lysine. Epsilon is a fifth amino group of lysine. Mm, so we've covered four. So one is coenzyme A, NAD, FAD, lipoamide, and there's one more cofactor which is very much needed for pyruvate dehydrogenase to get activated. So, and it is TPP, which is thymine pyrophosphate. Just TPP, thymine pyrophosphate. So it is basically a derivative of vitamin B1, thymine. So these are the five cofactors which are very much essential for the activation of pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. So this pyruvate dehydrogenase complex starts catalyzing the reaction of oxidative decarboxylation. So what happens is, so simply put, so the acetyl CoA along with NAD plus and coenzyme A reacts in the presence of enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase. So all resulting in the formation of acetyl CoA, and the carboxylic acid group is removed from pyruvate, which is nothing but pyruvic acid. So removed. So and from this carboxylic acid, so we observe CO2 being liberated, and these hydrogen equivalents reduce the NAD plus, forming NADH and H plus. So this entire reaction is basically called oxidative decarboxylation reaction. So the important point is that this reaction, especially or simply this reaction, only happens in mitochondria. That means we can interpret that So this is an exclusive process of aerobic respiration. This is an exclusive step which we can observe only in aerobic respiration. That means this can be found in cells where only mitochondria is present. For example, if you take erythrocytes and some liver cells, you don't find mitochondria there. Hence, you don't find this reaction occurring there. Also, what are the major organs where you find this reaction? This reaction occurring at more frequencies: cardiac muscles and kidneys. So in these organs or in these tissues we observe high occurrence of high incidence of this reaction to occur. So this is what basically called the linking reaction. So in tomorrow's video we'll be observing like various reactions that are very much linked to this oxidative decarboxylation reaction, and the significance of pyruvate conversion to acetyl CoA, and the important biological importance of pyruvate dehydrogenase enzyme, pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. So till then, see you.